today we have these special memories actually going on. I think it will go for probably like few more weeks definitely. And today is the 4th episode on the pilgrimage memories. Okay? So finally now we are moving. I think until last week we were stuck in Navadvip, but now we are moving. See, so basically what happened was from Navadvip, then we really took the train. We really took on the car to the Howrah station, and on the way we really saw so many things which I really described last week. That was on the way. Kalna, remember Kalna, where we got that. They did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu GT, that was on the way. So then we took the Rajdhani Express from Howrah, and then we are going to Delhi. Because that was the first time that we were in Rajdhani. Because when I heard, then when I really reached Howrah, wow, it was big. It was really not like any other. I mean, amazing, very big railway station. In fact, I heard about a lot of things also about Howrah. These are all stations. See, it's a station. Okay, so many things really happening. And in fact, in 2002, I came to know that Rajdhani Express derailed. So I was thinking whether this is 2000. Okay, how many years then? Okay, maybe it may really make it. And we made it. So we went to Delhi, and there was one Prabhuji who also actually he was in Navadvip in fact, and it was actually his car. He had a business or something in Delhi, and in fact he paid for our tickets also. Like that, right? Then we went. Then before we go into Aniruddha Prabhu's place, which I am going to really probably just to give some more information about that, and that house was really special, very nice. So as soon as we really entered, we just took the seat, and then they brought garland, gave us a garland, and then they took Aarti. Then saying, what is going on? We could really believe. So it was not the only place like that. So it was always, because when anyone is going to pilgrimage, apparently there are a lot of things also there, So whatever it is, so it was very good. So we were given some very nice accommodation. And the next day morning, even though it really started raining, and finally we could really manage to really get in, and then finally we were on the road towards where? Towards? No, Jaipur, correct. So basically Aniruddha Prabhu's place, the house, is actually just before Jaipur. So because we had the car, so we didn't have to take any train or something, and then we were going. We are actually seeing on the way. I actually also we really encountered some great personality, some Western devotee from UK. Apparently his father is almost equal to the Queen in status. Yeah. He had all the papers, and it was amazing. Anyway, so I don't want to really get into that one. So this is a place where we really had some breakfast and etc. Finally, after a long time, we really reached. This is just across the home of Sripad Aniruddha Prabhu. Who is Aniruddha Prabhu, by the way? So he is one devotee. Probably I think he is probably a hidden devotee for a long time, very long time. And so he was a very close friend to our Gurudev also. And not only that, and like other Gaudiya, basically he really belongs to the Gaudiya. But he is amazing. I will tell some other things and unique things. So he was given darshan by Lord Krishna. And not only that, Hanumanji. So this is his, that is how his mood is completely different. And he is very frank, If you see his face, you will realize how he is, how simple he is. Anyway, so this is his front of the house. I am actually, I took some photos and then some I am borrowing from their side also. So see, he spends most of the time in front of this small house, which is just near that big, not big, small hill. Okay. So I am going to show you that also in another picture. And when this is where, it's the entrance. When we really entered in, that is how we really came in. And then we were actually sitting right on the floor. And he had for us everything, so many things also for us to eat. And if you see that bags to place, this is what they done. They call this as a Greek Govardhan. Because many saints who have really visited there, they told that your house is Vrindavan. And this is actually like, Govardhan. This is how he was really very advanced. Anyway, so we went there. This is basically us. I was sitting just there. And, you can recognize the Tanti Maharaj also. They are very close to. That is how I also came to know. And we all mixed very, very nicely, even though he could talk only in Hindi, but small, chota, English, whatever he says that, we could understand. And we are talking so many things, and especially we were actually, also talking about our Gokul Bhajan and then our families, and we need the blessings and all. He said, "Oh yeah, what are you doing in Gokul Bhajan?" Then of course our Maharaj actually explained. Wow, so you are actually doing seva all the time. Maybe trying to. But then I said, no, I won't chant. I am not able to chant. Yeah, okay. Chant 1 lakh. Minimum 1 lakh. Go for 2 lakh. But the thing is, he is just very high empowered. If he says something, it will happen. And morning, always a problem for me to really get up early. Very difficult. And he said, no problem, everything will come through fine. Now, after 2:30, I cannot sleep. Somebody, like as if somebody wakes up and you are energetic. So that is the beauty. Finish all the 1 lakh right there. As you can, back to the time I used to get up, right? Or whatever it is, 1 lakh is done. And more you chant in the morning, this evening or whatever mid times and whatever you chant 10 rounds, 1 single round in the morning is equivalent to that. You have to understand that. Because it's like a dummy weights otherwise. Because you are talking something like that, okay, that's good. No. Morning, because he says that. If you are not hearing what you are chanting, you are chanting best. What is that? That is the key. I will tell you, that's the key. If you are not listening to what you are chanting, it's best. There is nothing going. Because there are a lot of vibration going there. Anyway, so he always says, only Lord Chaitanya came to really give the Pancha Purushartha. What is the Pancha Purushartha? I have heard only Purushartha is 4. Only 4 Purushartha, 4 Arthas are there. What are they? Dharma, Kama, Moksha. There is nothing more for Hindus. Done. Moksha, when you get, you are done. Everybody goes for Moksha. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not come for giving all these 4, because Lord Narayana can give that for you. Or Lord Vishnu can give, Lord Shiva, anybody can give, any other God can give Moksha. No problem. Krishna, Moksha is nothing very, very easy. But one he cannot give. He will not give. He will not give his prema. That Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give you. So he says that. Specifically, this is the key for you. And that you can get only by chanting. So, how the thing was, he was, when he was really growing there, I don't want to really go into the whole history. His elder brother rented a home near Govindaji temple in Jaipur. See, now Jaipur is coming into picture. So, Aniruddha Prabhu was extremely attracted to the deities. And he used to ask the saints, "Oh saint, when can I meet Bhagavan?" But no one answered. Then he realized that only when he takes a guru, any progress can be made. So in 1952, he set out to Vrindavan by walk. He went half the way. Then he changed his mind and returned back. It was hard. But he went to the same temple, Radha Govindaji temple. But when he came back, he saw something very unique. There was a singing, nice kirtan going on. And near the, just near the stage, we also, of course, went to Jaipur just now, right? So he was singing with so much of ecstasy. No, he thought, okay, this sannyasi is not ordinary. So he wanted to meet him. And eventually he was asking and asking, because, you see, people can sing with a lot of music. Very nice rhythm. Very methodically, very good, because they are all trained. But nobody can sing with bhava. Baba doesn't have any tune or anything that you know. So that only certain people can really recognize that. So he noticed that. So he desperately wanted to meet him. So he called asked someone, oh yeah, he's staying somewhere in some ashram or whatever. He was waiting, and then finally he could really be able to really meet. And that was Sri Srimad Bhakti Daitya Madhava Goswami Maharaj. So he received the Harinam and Diksha from that Maharaj. And things really started moving very heavily. He chanted the Gopala Mantra. It's given only to the initiated, of course. 18 lakhs times in 6 months and achieved an elevated state. Then Krishna's Leelas were manifesting. He saw himself as a Manjari. As a Manjari, he used to sweep the bowers and sprinkle water. He also attained Vak Shakti. This is something, remember, Siddhi. Siddhigami, karma, right? Then Bhuktikami, Muktikami. You have to be very careful. These are the 3 people that you should not really associate with them. Those who really want for Bhukti, money. Those who really want for Siddhi, power. Because now if you have Siddhi, you can make so much money. Then so that is Siddhikami. And the third one is Muktikami. Anyone who really wants for Mukti, you have to get away. Right? But Krishna always wanted to test. He gave him a power. That was the Vak Shakti. Whatever he said, it always happened. Right? And then once what happened was there was one person who was possessed by ghost. Exorcism. I don't know whether you have seen the movie and all, right? So they were trying all kinds of things that ghost will not go away. So they really brought that person to him. He chanted as usual and then did whatever that is. The ghost went away completely and then he said, hey, by the way, do you know what was that ghost, by the way? He was a priest who was really doing, the priest in a temple, and he used to steal all the money and then the gold, all the ornaments, everything. So that is why what happened? He could not go anywhere. He got stuck and then he became a ghost. And also every month he used to send 11 rupees to his guru, like that. And our Gurudev, whenever he goes to Jaipur for any katha and all, so he used to stay. He always stays at his home. He says, so many rich people are calling me to really stay there, but I am very comfortable in your simple hut. And he also cooks. Our Gurudev also cooks there and then offer to his deity, and they were very, very close friends. So anyway, the Swarupa of our Gurudev also. So one Manjari and another Manjari. So they are all together. And once what happened was Hanuman, he really appeared to him. And then he said, show me your hand. Okay. Now what you do is, you go and read Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 15th 15th, the chapter on the 9th and 10th. You read it. You will understand who you are. Brahma Jagat Guru Devaihi Saha Triya Sureshwarai Vainyasya Takshine Haste Drishva Chitnam Gadaha Brutaham Padayor Aravindam Cha Tambai Mene Hare Kalam Yasya Pratihatam Chakram Amchasya Paramestinaha. Look at your own hand. You have special signs that you are not an ordinary person. You are not from here. You are from somewhere else. So soon what happened to us? So many things happened. And you may see, this is Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Maharaj. Very, very, very highly devoted. I was talking about Bharati Maharaj. It's all basically the same parampara, actually coming there. So he really told, you have to really bring all the soul to Krishna by chanting. This is your job. Actually, his own Gurudev once appeared in his dream and then just assigned that task. So this is how it was. And from 2004, Gaura Purnima, he vowed that I will be doing 3 lakh naams every day. 3 lakh means who else did that 3 lakh? 300,000? Who else did it? Haridas Thakur. And he is called Namacharya. But now, these, the Prabhuji, he sometimes goes to 4. How? He's so fast, but at the same time, he pronounces everything perfectly, because maybe he was really running. No, it's not like that. And his home is Vrindavan. So as I told you, this is his altar. Very simple. No big deities, are actually very, very simple and very powerful. See that? And the hill at the back is a Govardhan, as I really mentioned to you. And he received the darshan from his Gurudev, and also Krishna himself gave darshan. In one incident, he really got darshan. But then he was weeping, crying, just rolling. But then you realize, oh Krishna, look at what other people will think about me. They will think I am mad. I am mad. Why don't you give them little darshan? You know what? All the devotees were. They were there. They indirectly got the darshan of Krishna projected on a some one screen or something that was really hanging there. He could read. They all could really feel that. Oh yes, there is somebody here. But why Krishna had to really give that? Because he is always bound by his devotees. So he, when the devotee asks something, he will do something. So this is what happened. All right. So there are lot of shortses, like people who have really witnessed that. And our meeting was so great. So he liked the seva we are doing in Gokul Bhajan. And I asked them to really bless our Gokul Bhajan families. He blessed. And he also gave some pamphlets. I think I may be having here. Anyway, Saturday. So now 1 lakh is 1 lakh Nama is coming without any problem. Morning 2 to 3 a.m. waking up. Chanting now became routine, and my wife is also continuing the same thing. I will tell you, even 2 lakhs is not a problem. 3 lakhs is not a problem. Eventually when you retire, when you have everything done, it's not a problem. You can keep on chanting, because when he says, when he chants, Amrit is coming, pouring. And I don't want to stop it. It's coming and coming, pouring like, see, suppose some place where you are really, sitting there and Coca-Cola is just coming, what you do? You keep on drinking. I don't want to drink that anyway, but see, most of the time you will run and then go out freely coming and drink, right? This is exactly what they do in heaven. In heaven, that's the Indraloka. Indraloka, this drink is all free. It's like many of the offices, what they do is, they give you coffee and then all the Coca-Cola free. Why? They want you to get intoxicated, or rather stimulated and then work hard. Okay? So here, Amrit is different. So that's what he says there. He doesn't want to really stop. Anyway, for more details, you can actually visit our website, gokulbhajan.com, and under sadhana, you will have chanting, and in that I could really put him, because for chanting is concerned, if you get the blessing from him, no problem. Everything, your life will get changed. We went to it's called Siddha Bhakta or something, I don't know what, how to call that. He said nearby, everyone wanted to go, and then he also joined anyway. So, there's a temple on in the hill. It was, I will tell you, even if we wear shoes, it is tough to reach. We both were walking, everybody was also walking, and they are all from there, village, and then, when India, they could really somehow manage to go. We said, we are not going. I said, no way. I noticed after we went, then we went a little more, and then we said, we cannot make it. Then the other person was saying, only little bit, thoda. How many of them thoda, minds going on? They want you to really make it. Okay, they say, thoda, this is hard. How many thodas? So finally, they said, no, we cannot make it. And then, okay, everybody looked at, you are from USA, no? Yeah, you are corrupted. Alright. Then we were about to turn back actually. One big truck. What you are seeing there is actually the end of that big truck. Remember there's a door. So they put like all the coconuts or something like that, we were all jumping. Some have really got it, and then I will tell you.
Tractor.
Tractor. It was a tractor with the big thing on the back. So they used to probably take whatever it. And you won't believe. I thought my bag is going to be finished. Maybe I think Prabhuji, maybe if you come, your bag would have been fine. Because already, already that's a problem, and then it will become all right. So I was thinking about you, my God, because those guys are down, like that. Then I was wondering whether it's going to turn.
Like a mountain, like that.
Wow! Finally we reached the place. There is something unique about this place. Once there was, this is like a total forest. Forest means hill, nobody need to go. In the same place where the temple is there, you see, from the sky, a leaf. Big leaf, some strange leaf, nobody knows what kind of tree it was even. So it fell down and people could really see that. They went and then took the leaf which really fell from the sky. It had returned. Oh, you have to dig here, and there is one skeleton which is really buried down. You have to, to take him out and then put it in a place and then start worshipping. He said, then they said, where to dig? Because I will tell you, by looking at all the stones and everything, you will be totally frustrated because it's so hard. Then they were wondering where to dig. Then after a few days, another leaf came down. There more information. From this tree, you go this here, this from this, etc., etc. As if clearly written. So they went, that villagers, they went and they dug the place. Down, all the way, they're going deep. Then they pulled out the skeleton. No flesh, of course, it's all dry, total dry. Maybe so many, I don't know, thousands or even millions of years, who knows when it was there. So then, they took, as per the instruction, they put a lot of cotton. Because how do you put the skeleton? You need to have something to be stuffed. They put cotton inside and then placed it in a place. But then they noticed, every day, on the skeleton, flesh used to form. Flesh, real flesh. And now what you are really seeing here, actually probably the other one is probably more clear. It is actually flesh. A real person is sitting there. I really went near, and then Maharaj said, you know what? Whatever you are talking, he is hearing. But the only thing is, he is in Samadhi. Understand? And I was watching very closely. It is really flesh. But he doesn't eat any food. For how many? Hundreds of years now. So he is actually a Vishnu Bhakta. His name, somebody tells something, not Radha or something, some Swami or something like that. Anyway, so why I am saying was, we wanted to spend some time, and Aniruddha Prabhu also came along with us, and we had some nice time, and then talking this and that. He was also showing one place down. That's what he is showing. See, saying the place though for this holy age, this temple, there is a small well. You should go and then see. And then he said, I have to really go back. I'm not coming, but why don't you all go and go? My God, reaching that place is like another thing. We are wondering, maybe another tractor or something. But the problem is, the tractor cannot go because after that is steep. Okay. In fact, in front of us, there was one Western devotee fell down. And on the rock. On the rock. My God, I thought probably it's really broken or something. It's very hot, very, very hot. Absolutely hot. Anyway, we are struggling, literally struggling, because we have a long way to go. So we finally go down and you see a small well. This is so sweet, and we drank and drank and drank. And our poor auntie was saying, you are drinking, something may happen, Yeah, but, yeah, she's always caution, this is caution. But it's so tasty, very, very nice, and the water, from there is the one given for, used for the Abhishek and everything. There is a yajna going on, they do yajna, which is going on permanently. It doesn't really get stopped at all, it will be always burning. So they will feed, the fuel, basically all wood only. It is going on for for years. That's what they really told. Okay. So we saw that and then came back to his place. We spent little more time. Then after that, everybody was giving his this thing to really, get blessing and everything. So finally, we really grabbed whatever we really got and then went back to, not back to, we were on the way to Jaipur. So the Jaipur, basically what happened was, Maharaj arranged another family who also came from Jaipur, and then we simply started. See, throughout our trip, Maharaj arranged in such a way, we did not have any hardship. And train comes, you are hungry, devotees come and then chapati, this, everything all packed, you only eat. They will take care of. And you really get on from one and then try to get to the another train, another set of devotees will come again. From somewhere, wherever you stop, look at throughout India, right? Come there with again food and they will help you, they will really carry your this thing. You think, my God, this is what kind of, where will get this, this kind of arrangement? Throughout the trip it was like that. Amazing. Anyway, so Jaipur. So we were now going toward Jaipur in one of the, he was a doctor again. And then, so apparently it really came out that they loved Italy. They somehow loved Italy. We are talking about a lot of thing about Italy and then making there, but we are so tired. And Jaipur is really so unique also. I really like the place. In fact, I really heard that they really make a lot of nice deities also. What you see on the right side bottom is puppets. They are really very famous for puppets. And this is the house. But I didn't take that much photograph. He actually works in the post office, and then it's a very nice house, I'll tell you. Oh, beautiful. And this is where on the top, auntie and then they are actually having just to chat. All the way, it's very, very, very beautiful. The weather was also wonderful, amazing. Now I am asking you, what is this building, by the way? Children, anyone can identify what is this building?
Niti, you have seen that.
Yeah, Niti, you have seen?
Yeah.
What is this building?
It's a Krishna temple.
Okay, already half the clue is coming. And where is it and what the name of the Krishna temple?
This is that fort, Amer Fort. Is it in the fort?
No, it's not a fort actually. No. Yeah, no one.
Radha
Come.
Govindaji.
Huh?
Radha
Yeah, now you may see. Radha Govinda the temple where the deity of Sri Rupa Goswami was really worshipped. It had 7 stories, I believe. 7 stories high. And then when Aurangzeb was in Agra, that time Agra, Delhi, Agra, right? I don't know what was, Agra. He suddenly saw something in the evening, some nice light little far away, and it is higher than his palace. He said, what is that light coming? Oh, that is coming from a Hindu temple. Hindu temple? How can that be taller than my place? Go and demolish. And that's what they did. They came and then, starting from the top, it was a beautiful building, I will tell you. They started demolishing the topmost. Then, that is finished. Second one. Third one also almost there, and then they were really, the building was really, some kind of shaking was there. When now I think they have only 3. Then the 4th one was done. Hanuman got so mad. They threw everyone out. So that means they were all of a sudden, everybody who was really demolishing were completely for no reason. How they were all thrown out of the building and then died on the side. So the remaining people who were on the floor, he thought, oh my God, this is something, I did not see that. They ran away immediately for their life and they never came back. But then because this temple was now because the thing is, they are all meat eaters, right? Yavanas. And because of those, they said worship cannot be really done here. And that time, the Raja from Jaipur, Maharaja Jai Singh too, took the deity from Vrindavan to Amber, that is near Jaipur, to protect from Muslim king Aurangzeb, who used to destroy all the Hindu temples and break the deities. So in 1722, this deity was removed, And also some resources say it's 1735, doesn't matter, around that time. And that Maharaj dedicated his Jaipur or the town of victory to Govindaji. So he brought the Govindaji, not only Govindaji, he also brought more other deities as well. And for Radha Govindaji, he gave place in his own palace. So this is the palace, and inside, if you know what is on the right side, that is it's a massive temple. See, it's a massive temple. So if it's yeah, so you know Rupa Goswami, you have seen the picture. So this is basically the same Radha Govindaji. What do you really see? And before that deity was for a long time lost, one day Rupa Goswami had a dream. And Govindaji did, you know how the deity really appeared, even when Rupa Goswami came, how he found out, or did he really make one? No, because Govindaji came in his dream and he asked Rupa Goswami to really bury, dig a place where he was really buried, and then he really took out. That was how it really started, and then eventually it really came, and then now it is in Jaipur. Every day before 5 a.m., because 5 a.m. is actually Mangalarati, almost 5,000 people come. It's all jammed. So I mean, it's amazing. But then in Vrindavan, they have a small like a replica, not the original, that is just kept there, but not really any real worship there. Right? So we went to the temple, and we got a very good darshan. It's amazing darshan. So it was nice. So then, actually, because I was wearing dhoti, I could really go near, very near to the in front of the, me and Maharaj both went there. Because, like most of them, they wear the pant and all, they are not allowed to really go at a certain point. So we could really, we got a very good darshan. Oh my God, how much of sweets and so much of offering is. Yeah, I should have probably taken a photo, then I didn't have time. Everybody was saying, it's very, very, very crowded. Then the next one, this is also original deity, Radha Damodar. So Radha Damodar, this deity was worshipped by Jiva Goswami. Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami. See, they are all, right? Then the third one is Sanatana Goswami. Now, this Radha Damodar deities, that also we could really go, worship. Then after that, we really went to this is a unique place I liked most. Radha Madhava, worshipped by Jayadeva Goswami. Remember last Friday we covered Jayadeva Goswami? Remember we really, is that last week or before? Last week. No, maybe before. And who is Jayadeva Goswami? He was the one who really composed the Gita Govindam. Right? Remember Krishna himself came and wrote the verse and all? Yeah, so that is basically the same one. So this deity, oh my God, amazing. We just walked in, no crowd at all, because everybody is interested in artificial deities, These are original deities, see. But no, crowd was not that much. It was very nice. We really went there, and then also just I really got so attracted, and from that from Krishna Radharani, one of the big mala, the pujari, I don't know what shape I was. He just put that on, but I couldn't really bring because it's so heavy now. Then in front we sat and did a small bhajan with other devotee also who really came with. So this is memorable, Radha Madhava. Then also we have Madan Mohan temple. This is in Karoli. We could not go. We wanted to go, but the next day we were supposed to go to Vrindavan, but it was getting late. And actually Dadi Maharaj was staying in a different home, which is little far away. We were in a different place, because otherwise I used to always nag him, saying no, oh Maharaj, time, because he doesn't have a watch even. So his time is different. Somebody has to really take care of him, right? Oh, it's amazing. But anyway, finally we could really make it, but we could not really make it to the Karoli. Basically, this is a place where Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan temple is there. Madan Mohan means what? It basically means one who can even enchant Cupid. So that is Madan Mohan. Very, very unique. So maybe next time when we go, probably we will make it. So this is basically the deity by Sanatana Goswami, worshipped at this temple, which you really feel, you will never miss. If you really go to Vrindavan, you will never miss. And there is also a story behind how the whole thing actually happened. Actually Krishna really became a deity, and then he was really walking with him. So that was how the whole thing happened. The Madura, he used to go to the Govardhan Parikrama, and then also, then Pavitra Parikrama itself is big after you come. But he finishes that and then walks to Madura. That is another big one. To really get Bhiksha from only 3 houses. Then he comes back this way. Once he was going, and then one of the houses, there was some strange things were going on. 2 boys were, just pulling the saree of that household, wife, like Brahmani. So, oh, give me, we are hungry, and then feed us. So she really took some, she was brushing teeth with a stick. She was brushing her teeth with a stick. And then, okay, oh, you are hungry, one pulling here, one boy pulling here, other boy pulling here. Okay, wait, I will finish that. And then what she does is, she really turns remember they used a stick, right? Long stick, right? So she turned the other side, kichadi, Then with the mouth, he is still brushing. Because it's hot. Okay, alright, okay, you guys go and then have, okay, then you really go over playing. And he hasn't taken bath, he hasn't really, even brushed properly, nothing. And they happily ate, and then went far away. They were doing all this, the Palanguliya, something, and then finally what happened was, they were playing outside, and then these are all, who is watching? Sanatana Goswami watching all this thing, my God, no brushing, no this thing, nothing. And these boys, he's feeding, what is going on? And then he was looking, these boys were really playing very nicely, and then finally there was a fight came. No. You don't know. This is the right. And then this guy was scolding the other boy, and that boy is little blackish. Okay, now I will tell you blackish. And that blackish, but no, you are wrong, and I was right. And then they were actually, putting, fighting, shouting, all the things. And then finally, and the other boy was really, about to beat him, and he ran away into the nearby room which had a deity, and he entered the deity. Okay, Sanatana Goswami is watching. And then this boy comes, tomorrow you are going to come now. I am going to see you. Then he came out. Sanatana Goswami noticed. Oh, that boy, who is this boy? Oh my God, okay. That day he got the Bhiksha and then went back. Next day, he wanted to see what is going on here. He came back again same time. Then, no. Before he went, he really told them that Brahmani, oh Brahmani, that small boys, because he had a little suspicion there who are they are. We are feeding like you have to brush there. So tomorrow what you do is you take bath, and then after brushing take bath and everything. After that you really feed them, because don't even do this food like that. No, that's not good. Okay, you really feed them properly, because his suspicion was he's not ordinary guy. Okay, that boy. So he said, okay, now tomorrow I am going to come and then watch. So he came. Same kind of thing going on here. And these guys were, now what? Oh, we are hungry, they are shouting. That lady is not there. She is shouting from the kitchen. Wait, I haven't taken bath yet. I haven't even brushed yet. You have to hold on. Like that typically coming. But no sign of coming, half an hour, 1 hour. So she takes the time, and because she said, oh, that Panditji told that, that Swamiji told that I have to really be very, very, this thing, then what I can feed. By the time these guys were really making a hell out of it, and then she came, and then when she made, they were going too much, they were shouting, no, we are hungry, pulling all the thing, and then said, oh, then he really looked at sad, oh my God, these boys had to really wait that long? Okay, alright, then, okay, she really said, probably I think whatever she was doing was okay, but then something else happened. These boys were really playing, then this boy, that black boy, he really saw Sanatana Goswami. What was it? Baba, I want to come with you, Baba. I want to come with you. Hey, you want to come with me? For what? I want to come with you. And wherever you are there. I am far away. First of all, you have to walk. And then, if you want to stay with me, how can I feed you? How can I feed you? No, Baba. Whatever you give, I will eat. See, I eat only try chapati. No, nothing, not even salt. No, Baba, I will eat whatever you give, I will eat. I want to come with you, Baba. So he was pressing so much. He was wondering, oh, what is going to happen? Okay, all right, come. But you have to really walk all the way. They were walking and walking, they reached the place. And when they really reached, there, yeah, that's the place. You see, you are seeing that picture, remember? Like that boy just froze. DT. Became a DT, basically, like a DT. I mean, where is the DT? That is the Madan Mohan we are talking about. So it's not that something that really somebody carved. It just basically manifested right there. Like the Narasimha Bali, remember that I was covering? The Lord, that Narasimha there, it was actually, manifested by itself, by himself. Okay, so now what happened was, okay, all right, now he realized that it is actually Krishna himself. Okay, so he really prepared something, he really put a small cutter or something for the deed, and then he started giving chapatis. And what chapati? Chapati, no, who gives salt and everything? So chapati, and then one chapati is a day, chapati. Today chapati, tomorrow chapati, day after tomorrow chapati, then chapati, morning chapati, evening chapati, everything chapati. Then Madan, Baba, what? Only I am eating chapati. Yeah, that's what I told you, right? That's what I told you, right? When you came with me, I told that I will give whatever I get. Yeah, that's okay. But that's not even a simple salt. Salt! Now you are asking salt. Look at that, where will one get salt? Where will I get? No, you have to eat, because you remember, see, this is how they are dealing with Krishna. I told you again, remember? This is what Krishna is. You will really cry. How Krishna really comes to you when you really have that kind of Baba. How they are fighting, look at you. Yeah, then he said, if you want salt, you arrange by yourself. I don't have. What kind of, I am a old man. I told you upfront, isn't it? Didn't you? Yeah. But then you have to eat whatever I give. Okay. Then all of a sudden, like few days, big rain came. In the rain, God struck one big ship, Yamuna. That was a salt merchant. And that got stuck right there and he could not do anything. Magically, he was wondering how it was dragging, and then boom, gone. He got down, getting to the shore, and then he was looking for some help. And there was a boy right there, playing there, and then I said, oh, because there is nobody, because Vrindavan there was, nobody that time. It's all forest. So then he was asking, oh boy, do you know anyone in this area who can really help me? Oh, Baba, what is the problem? See, my ship has really got stuck. So I want somebody to really help. No problem. I have a Baba who is very, very strong. He can really make the ship to go just like that. He got so happy. And then, okay, show me that Baba. So he was really coming and then, catching his, this thing and then coming. And finally, in that, of course, he doesn't have a hut. At least the deity there is a hut, he doesn't have a hut. So he just sitting outside and then chanting going on. And this salt merchant, he came and looked at this Baba. Because Sanatana was very thin now. So this boy said he was very strong. He was so thin. He even afraid of asking. But anyway, I have come down. At least he knows somebody else who can really help. Oh, Baba, this is what I came. And then, then he said, I have no way of, meanwhile the boy also vanished. I have no, look at me. How can I really do anything? Do one thing. You just ask this boy, this guy. He has everything, whatever he really wants to do, he can do it. So then he prayed. Oh Krishna, of course, that's like Krishna did na Krishna. If you, because, make this to really move again, I will give all the profits and to you, and then build the temple for you. Because there was no temple, it was just a hut. You won't believe? Another rain came again. In the rain, because of wind and this and everything, that got dislodged. That's it, got. So he got in, and then the amount, remember the miracle is, even though it was raining, the salt, nothing happened. So he could sell all the salt, make very big profit. No idea how he made that much profit. Look at the temple, because that was a very big temple. He really came and then built it. It was by that salt merchant. Just because Sanatana Goswami said, you arrange with the salt yourself. Do you understand now how the dealing is going on? So that is what the same Madan Mohan, but who is there in Karamali. Alright, next time that go there, and that is right time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.